the channel Growth with Us. So, class 10 ISC Economics, the first chapter, the theory of demand, we, we continue the topic individual and market demand, schedule and curve also. We already finished the demand and the types of demand. So, demand schedule is nothing but the meaning of demand, how to represent in the scheduled form. Schedule means this one side price and one side the quantity demanded shows. This is called schedule. See here the definition. Individual demand schedule shows different quantities of demand. Yes, different quantities of demand it shows, right? Just explanations of this table is known as the individual demand schedule. For a commodity by particular individual householder, different price of the commodity at a given moment. Yes, here it shows that per kg 30 rupees 1 kg. Here it shows that 1 kg of sugars demand when the price is 30. Okay, here the individual householder means this relate the single person demand. Okay, the single person demand. We also see here the market demand schedule. These two are very different. Okay, market demand schedule means the same meaning is there. The market demand schedule shows the quantities of a given commodity which all individual householder. Here the only changes is all individual householder, and here it is given that see individual householder, only individual means single. See, the individual householder is a key word. You can't forget, or you can't you have not uses or used as a single person. Not like that. You have to use the individual householder. Okay. Uh, Individual householder in the market would demand all different prices. Same, the different price or the demand will be also different. See here the per kg sugar is 30, but the consumer A demanded 1 kg, maybe consumer B is demanded 2, or maybe consumer C is demanded 3. It refers to the person to person. Okay, that's why we call it is a market demand. See, when we add all the consumers preference, then we get the market demand. Now we study the demand curve and the market demand curve. Demand curve is nothing but the representation of demand schedule is known as the demand curve. Here also the two types of the individual demand and the market demand. Okay, the graphic representation of demand schedule is known as the demand curve. It is very important, this two line. Maybe it comes for MCQs. So you have to remember. Individual, as I say that individual curve is two type. The same. See, first we make the schedule, then represent into the graph is known as the demand curve, individual demand curve. See the 30 price and then 20, 28. How to represent, I'll show you. See, when the sugar price is 30 for one, then consumer A, or let's take B, demanded how much? 1 kg. See, 30 and he demanded 1 kg. See, we can also relate this like if you have a problem to make the graph, then make like this. And one other things I have to clear this, that you have to make this graph freehand. Okay, only the x-axis and the y-axis you use the scale, but this representation you use your hand only. See, I'll show you how to. When it is 30, I demanded 1 kg of sugar. When it's 29, I demanded 2. And also one thing you remember, that this y-axis, what it shows? Price. Okay, always price. And this y-axis, quantity demanded, as I'll say. When we add these all points that is demanded by this individual householder, we put here the demand, D for demand, on both the side. Okay, see, market demand. We see the schedule of market schedule, market demand schedule. The same represent goes on my this curve, market demand curve. See, I'll show you. First, we make the demand curve for the consumer A. You can make separate also, but अगर एक में ही रहेगा तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है. It shows very clearly that this first straight line is demanded by the consumer A and consumer B, and this is consumer C. The numbers are varies. Okay, you don't have to learn and mug up all the numbers. You just learn the concept how to show your presentation in boards. Then we have to create the market demand. When we add all these values of demanded quantities, then we get that market demand is 6, 9, 12, 15 and 18. The same we here put also that. See, first क्या था 6, then here the 9, see 9. This line you are not to make this. Okay, I'm just show you how it works, how you can relate this line. Okay, all done. Now we have to move further for the determinants of demand or the demand function. It is a very important, you mark it, or you learn by heart, or you understand by heart. If you learn, you can easily write, but you have to learn the keywords. मैं बताऊंगी भी इसमें कौन कौन सा कीवर्ड्स है जिसको आप यूज़ कर सकते हो. डिटर्मिनेंट्स मीन वर्ड्स, the factors. You can also call as a factors that affecting the demand. अब आपके मन में आ रहा होगा डिमांड को तो सिर्फ एक प्राइस ही अफेक्ट कर सकता है कि प्राइस हाई होगा तो डिमांड कम होगा, और जब प्राइस कम होगा तो डिमांड हाई होगा, बट नॉट लाइक दैट.